Can we test a mic? Any one of them?
Hey, this is Mark Ellis, and anything I say right now will be better than most of what Neil Patrick Harris said. Guy's got a hard job. Guy's got a hard job. That room is the worst room in the history of rooms. Yeah, nobody wants to laugh at that thing. You're never supposed to blame the crowd, but come on.
Check. This thing's busted. Check.
Best question of the night.
Not I, said the blind man to the fly.
Oh, it's over here.
Hey.
Hey, boo-boo.
Hey, boo-boo.
All right, let's assume positions and get
Whoa.
Get in here. Who wants to?
Are we everybody? Yeah, Amy Rose is in the shots. Everybody in
Oh,
the
yeah.
shot.
I'd like to apologize to everybody, but most especially to Amy Rose, who I didn't realize I was blocking at the beginning of the show. Sorry, we didn't have a monitor.
Camera hug.
I mean, I totally am a whore, but I didn't know. I wouldn't do it at the expense of
What do
Amy.
you slide up on the? You don't have to sit on the floor anymore. You sit on the Harry Potter pillow.
Aw, but it was the Mark and Sinead show.
Everything is totally not awesome. Are we on the shot?
Yeah, we got it.
We're actually serious. Hi, thanks for being patient with us, everybody. We're going to start. Actually, we might as well just start, right? We're all in the picture now?
Yeah.
Don't forget to pass the microphones around. Hey, everybody, and welcome to our AMC Movie News post-Oscar wrap-up show. We just finished watching the show, Birdman.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about a bunch of things about the show, probably about the show itself, some of the winners, some of the losers. I don't think, no, there were a bunch of you guys. Which ones of you guys picked Boyhood to win? A few of you picked Boyhood.
That's true.
Really? I thought a few people did.
I thought Linklater
I
had
thought
Best
Linklater,
Director.
Yeah, I picked Linklater to
Yeah.
win Best Director. Not even though I wanted Inarritu to win, but he won.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, the only big shock, even though I can't call it a shock. Redmayne won Best Actor. Not my pick, but it would have been my second pick, so I can't complain too much. I thought Michael Keaton deserved it, head and shoulders. But whatever, that's cool. But the big shock of the night I thought at any rate, was Imitation Game winning Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming at all. But maybe the best speech. Well, no, J.K. had the best speech tonight, probably. But one of the best speeches of the night was. But I can't remember his name. Forgive me. But the writer Graham Moore. Yeah. So that was great. Amy Rose, your thoughts on Imitation and Graham Moore's speech and all that kind of stuff.
I'm not that surprised because, again, all of that. Well, I am surprised because I didn't have that, but I'm not that surprised in the sense that, there are a couple front runners in terms of being real people based on these incredible contributions to history. And that was a very loved Academy picture. They love historical pieces,
yeah.
and they love people like that make, band together with society. So I'm not that surprised. I thought that was hands down the best speech of the night. It was really inspiring and courageous for him to reveal that to the country, to the world, that happened. We were all like, whoa, but he kept it together. It was really inspiring, and I hope that
I shouldn't say this. I
weird.
really shouldn't say this.
You shouldn't. Don't, John.
Ray knows.
Don't, John.
But Ray was like, because after, you're right, it was incredibly brave. I'm saying it. It was incredibly brave what he said about having, in all seriousness, that was incredibly gutsy. And I think that's going to be one of the great Oscar moments that he did that on stage. But Ray is like, what if he pulls a Brian Williams? We see video of him not trying to commit suicide.
Okay, take the cider from him. Take it.
No more cider.
No more cider.
I'll switch it up. I know I wanted one of the things though too. You guys are mentioning as far as shocks go. So shocks, Big Hero 6.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah, I
That
thought it
was
was
a
going to be
bigger
Dragon.
surprise
Yeah.
for me.
because if anyone was the one that was going to beat Dragon, I thought it would be Big Hero 6. But I was surprised that one. Because
Yeah.
Big Hero 6 had not been winning the other little awards like Dragon had been.
See, the biggest shock of the Oscars to me was that the musical numbers were the best part of the entire ceremony.
They were.
Like seriously, like when Common and John Legend did their thing, I thought that was awesome.
That was
the
great.
Julie Andrews, Lady Gaga, who would have
Lady
thought that
Gaga.
was going to
Lady
happen?
Gaga crushed it.
But this overall, this Oscars, it's neat to talk about the winners and who got snubbed and all that stuff. But you could have read that on a sheet of paper. The actual ceremony is why everybody tunes in, and I thought it was really dull. I'm not pinning it totally on Neil Patrick Harris, but it's like that was really rough to watch at some point.
Writers.
pissed.
Yeah, he was.
There's been a shift in you in the past like 10 minutes.
I was
He's
really
so pissed.
I was really, and part of me feels bad for him because that's not Neil Patrick Harris's fault that he's got.
I don't know about that. But he's been rehearsing though, dude.
Here's
I mean,
the thing,
he could say no. I don't want to say that. That joke went on so long with the. Guess what my predictions are? Who cares? This joke stinks.
And who didn't know that was what the ending was going to be?
Horrible.
Like everything he said fell flat tonight. And I'm one of the guys who, much like James Franco and Anne Hathaway, where I was really super excited that they got him to host, even though I normally like bigger movie personalities hosting. I thought, hey, if you're going to go in another direction and get a TV guy or a guy who's not totally a movie guy, Neil Patrick Harris is the guy because he's been crushing it on all the other stuff that he's been hosting. And it's just like, other than that Idina Menzel part, which was funny.
Awkward.
And John Travolta
Everything
touching
else-
everyone's face was hysterical.
But everything Neil Patrick Harris, look, it's not like everything he did was bad, like James Franco bad, but it's like it was just all flat.
Yeah, I gotta say, I came in late. I saw the last 40 minutes, and I was bored.
Yeah.
It's a terrible room, though. Like, it's a terrible room to tell a joke in because nobody there is going to laugh. They're always uptight. You have seat fillers that are moving from one seat to the next seat, so it's a hard job to pull off. But having said that, just as a viewer watching the TV production, I thought it was one of the lamer years for the Oscars.
I agree. Billy Crystal is still king by a large
Yes.
margin.
Now, I should point out, too, for those of you who watched our pre-Oscar show, a lot of you expressed some concern that we were letting a minor drink alcohol. So you see that we don't let her have any alcohol right now. By the way, you guys know that we were kidding, right? She's not actually 16 years old.
They actually don't know you were kidding.
And then somebody, Sinead.
Somehow I've become
She's
16,
13,
and
all right?
now
Just
I
relax,
also
What's the
have
bigger
everybody.
surprise, Big
children.
Hero 6 or the fact that you're not
I
16?
have children. I
her up.
learned to speak English like a year ago.
Very nice.
And I am 16.
That was
so-
the funniest part to me. Sinead, at one point during the show, she goes, okay, somebody just tweeted, hey, guys, Sinead's not 16. She has kids.
Teen mom. Teen mom, guys.
Hashtag she has kids.
Ashley has tampons.
Okay, so let's talk about. We're going to start with Ashley on this. Let's talk about our favorite moments of the Oscar tonight, whether it's a certain win or whether it was a certain joke or whatever. So Ashley, start with you. What was your one of your favorite moments of the night?
I know you guys are gonna totally hit me on this, but I loved Eddie Redmayne's speech. He just seemed maybe he was kind of like really shocked because of the whole Jupiter ascending thing, and he thought that maybe that would affect it somehow. But he was just so excited and so appreciative, and a lot of people try to like mask with how cool they are and like hide the fact that they just won an Oscar. Like, you just won an Oscar, and it seemed like he was actually really happy and really stoked about it. So I was really happy about that.
Sinead, what about you?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think he came across as being very genuine, which is awesome. Also, this is like sort of random, but I feel like Michael Keaton is like the most supportive audience member in the entire world, and like I honestly like it just stuck out to me because every single time anybody won, like he was the first one. He like jumped out of his seat, and he didn't end up walking away with Best Actor, but he genuinely looked so happy for his cast members and Inyati too, and like everybody that won. I just loved when the camera went to him. I got so excited because he smiled so big and he was so happy for everybody. And I do think the show was kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie, but definitely Eddie Redmayne. I loved Lady Gaga. Honestly, I thought good for her. What did you say? You were like, I wish she did this in her meat dress.
Oh, yeah. I want to wear that meat dress. That would have been fun.
No, there were some good parts. Overall, kind of boring, but still an Oscars.
For me, like I don't think songs should be sung at the Oscars. I don't. Music is such a tiny part. Sorry, the songs are such a tiny part of most movies, not scores, not musical scores. And so I think it's a really big waste of time. Like they lumped in when they were highlighting the Best Picture nominees, they were lumping 2 or 3 together at a time, but still giving. Just pointing this out, Best Original Song got more screen time at the Oscars than Best Picture did. Just mentioning that. That's got to change. But that being said, probably my favorite moment of the night was the Lady Gaga thing. Like I know I'm a fan of Lady Gaga. I think she's a great singer. I didn't know she was that great. But it's kind of sad to me that a musical number is my favorite part of the thing. But look, I'm one of those types of guys. that the moments I tune into the Oscars for are the moments that they open those envelopes and say the winner is, and then the acceptance speeches. That's to me the big thing. But you know, you're going to have us there for 3.5 hours. You either get a better host, or let go of the reins and pick an edgy host and let them go with it. You know what I mean? You're like, I don't even know if I want Ricky Gervais, but I would love to see Seth MacFarlane back. I'd like to see him get another shot. I know that's 50-50 down the board. Not everybody loved that pick, but yeah, for me it was the Lady Gaga thing. Anyway, Mark, what about you?
I actually liked the opening number. When we had the opening number, Neil Patrick Harris is singing. That's what he does best. Anna Kendrick makes a surprise appearance. Jack Black coming on stage.
And how good was Anna Kendrick? Her voice was great.
I thought all three of them were amazing, and I'm like, oh boy, buckle up. We got an Oscars in front of us. And then the commercial break happened, and we came back, and we're like, man, that's it? Okay. So that was my favorite part, was the beginning.
Dennis?
Surprisingly, the musical numbers were actually the best part. I mean, besides the Lady Gaga thing, you had Glory with a Common and Legend.
That was wonderful.
It was a very emotional song and moved a lot of people. And then you also had even the Everything Is Awesome, performed by Lonely Island and Tegan and Sarah.
I saw a lot of people complaining about the Everything Is Awesome number
I thought
online,
it was
but
great.
I thought it was really fun.
I thought so too. So, but I mean, obviously for me, having Birdman win so many awards, Best Picture, Best Director, Best Cinematography, it's the first time in a long while that my favorite movie of the year actually won the Oscar, because it's been a long time since then.
And that was actually, looked on Twitter, that was actually, why am I forgetting his name? The actor in the Batman suit. That was Will Arnett in the Batman suit. So that was him doing it. He put it out on his own Twitter. So yeah. Amy Rose, your favorite moments?
Yeah, it was the music. I mean, music is a very important part of my life, so I don't think they're useless. But in terms of the songs, yeah, I mean, really powerful moments. Seeing David Oyelowo and, was it Chris Pine?
Yeah.
I'm just so moved by that, and that's the power of music. It's instant. With film, it's more of an investment, and cinematography and score and mixing and everything and performances have it come to life. But when a chord hits you like that, it can really just be riveting, and I loved it. I thought it was also a boring show overall. I mean, Ellen was okay. Neil Patrick Harris was okay. So the next host, really, the bar's been kind of set lower. So they could really get someone in.
There you go, Ellis.
To really Ellis. But I still love it because we're acknowledging really powerful films, and I was really happy to see Budapest and Whiplash get a lot of love. I knew Birdman was. I thought Boyhood would get a little bit more. I'm still shocked that it didn't get mixing, even though I thought Whiplash was great for that. So yeah, I mean, a lot of great films recognized. So I thought performance-wise it was great, but the actual show was kind of eh.
Schnepp, you rolled in a little bit late because you were busy editing your film and all.
I'm working on a movie. But yeah, so I missed most of the boring Oscars came in. It was real. I just had a bunch of sour stuff to add just to make people laugh. That's what I felt like I had to do because everyone was like, we're bored out of our mind. I just came in right as Gaga was finishing. So I missed all of the musical numbers, and nor do I care about them. I was going to say, you know what? Michael Keaton didn't win, but it won as Best Picture, and he is Birdman. So in a sense, he did win. It's an ensemble picture. It's a great film. And I was on the way over here, I was like, wow, this is the first Oscars that I actually enjoyed most of the films that were up for Oscars. And they were on a very experimental tip. Birdman, experimental. Boyhood, incredibly experimental. So I was very happy with the Oscars choices. And I was extra happy. Our double feature that we saw, Seventh Son and Jupiter Ascending, now have Oscar winners. Julianne Moore, Oscar winner, and Eddie Redmayne, Oscar winner. So if you haven't seen Seventh Son and Jupiter Ascending, go see a double feature with two Oscar-nominated people.
Oscar winning.
They're winners. People. That's right. Not even nominated. Winning.
What about you, Christian? Favorite moments?
Well, it's funny, too, because I agree with Schnepp. The overall people that were nominated, I was saying it before, this is the closest it's been in a long time, like especially the big awards. You didn't know where it was going to go, and like the Best Actor, we said that was going to be Keaton or Redmayne, and Eddie Redmayne takes it. I actually really enjoyed his speech as well too. I agree very much with.
He was so legitimately happy.
He was so excited,
and
it wasn't fake. It wasn't forced. That's what he was feeling, and he showed it. And to see a guy like that win, it was refreshing. I love J.K. Simmons. I would up front. I would have liked. I think he probably just forgot. I would have liked to seen him throw some love towards Miles Teller, but his speech overall was great. His intensity, and to see that guy recognized is amazing. Strangely enough, I am not a Lady Gaga fan. I would have loved to seen her in that meat suit, but she crushed it. She crushed it. And what I liked about that role, that song, was paying tribute to old school Hollywood, and to have Andrews come out there with her. That was a really nice, refreshing thing as well. Overall, the show and the Idina Menzel Travolta moment
That was funny.
Was very funny, and the fact that everything else was hitting like a lead balloon. Because Neil Patrick Harris was really trying hard, and then he was trying way too hard. He was taking these uncomfortable pauses at times that it was just, dude, just move, just go.
He was taking laugh breaks where there were no laughs.
No, he was trying to. And that one bit at the end, it's like you're talking about, spending all this time with music. If your jokes aren't working, that should be the job on the writers. These aren't working. Let's give more time to the people that we are celebrating. That stupid thing isn't working. Don't do it anymore. But they didn't. They kept pushing it. But it was a disappointing show overall as far as writing. But as far as the awards, I think that there were some nice surprises. And I agree with you. The speech done by the writer of
Graham Moore.
was something for everybody out there that is going through those moments that they should listen to that dude, because that was really touching.
Yeah, I think
Stay weird and different.
Yeah, I think the speech by Graham Moore was probably. It's a weird word to use, but I'll say important. I think it was the most important speech of the night. The speech by Common. That was also a great speech, but to me the J.K. Simmons one was not just because this is a guy who has been in this business for so long, he's been a favorite of a lot of ours for a lot of different films or television shows in different roles. I still always think of Oz too when I think of him. He's just so multifaceted, so talented, but then he gets up there and he talks about family and he talks about stuff like that, and it seems so authentic. And Redmayne's speech. Not since Cuba Gooding Jr. have I seen a guy get up on stage like that and just be so legitimately just overwhelmed and happy, and that was so cool to see. And I guess with the SAG Awards and Redmayne winning SAG, it shouldn't be a shock to us. Even though I was shocked, I still thought that the Batman was going to win, but he didn't, and that's fine too. But some really good touching moments. And look, was this overall as a show a boring Oscars? The answer to that question is, from the biggest Oscar apologist, me, yes. Yeah, it was a pretty boring Oscars. But, for somebody like me, I don't watch the Oscars for the show. I watch the Oscars for the envelopes, and that's why the Golden Globes, as useless of an awards as they are, man, they do it right. They put on a show. They put on a great show, right? And speaking of which, Puller and Faye.
That's a great call.
Is it time for Puller? I think you brought that up on a show.
Yeah, somebody
last
pull
week or
that clip. I want to look smart. Actually, you know what? Can I also say my favorite part of the Oscars watching this year was getting to spend it with all of you. Here at our new AMC studios, everybody. Wow.
This is what you've been waiting for.
Phase 3.
Take your shoes off.
This white wall here.
A plush Chewbacca.
Yeah. Schillinger's going to come out of there pretty soon.
And I will take this time to say that the winners of our poll were the one and only Mistress of the House, Anne Campion, #1.
Yeah, well, so actually, where's Anne? Come in. Actually, our Oscar poll, I think it was by a landslide, too.
Whoa. I was number 2.
I think you came in
not
second.
A landslide.
Anne
great
won her
shirt she has
Oscar
on,
poll,
too.
actually.
Anne was number 1.
By a mile.
I was number 2, and Miss Roth Cornett was number 3. So the ladies dominated the house.
Wait a minute, I didn't get
Fixed.
third? What a
didn't get
shock.
anything.
I didn't even get in the top
Fixed.
3. What a shock.
I'd also like to point out that Anne won the poll, and she was also the scorekeeper.
Oh, she
poll,
was.
Saw a lot
So-
of racing going on.
Yeah.
Whatevs.
What are some of, I wanted, there were so many, actually pretty really good moments. Oh, I know. This was one that sent a buzz through the room. Visual effects Oscar. Now, I picked Interstellar on my ballot. So I wanted Interstellar to win. But we were talking 30 seconds before the announced winner. We're saying, hey, well, we all know that Apes on Horses should win.
I disagree.
But I picked Interstellar, and Interstellar won. And I'm glad it won, but it really probably should have been Apes. Should it?
Apes was amazing, but Interstellar, what they did with that, it evoked emotion. It was beautifully
So
done.
did Apes, though.
I loved Apes. I think Apes, I loved it. It was in my top 10 of the year,
Yeah.
but I just think Interstellar deserved it, and that's why I voted for it.
Well,
It
when
was
we did our Oscar predictions for AMC, I actually thought Interstellar was going to win. And I started talking, and I guess Dennis and maybe even Schnepp had picked Apes, and I started thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? For what they have done, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, to taking performance capture outside, which they had never been done before, and making it so real. And even the fact that conversation, whether you agree or disagree that Andy Serkis should have been nominated, the fact that conversation could even come into
Yeah, good point.
is shows you where you have come with that technology. And I still think that the Academy, as of right now, today, doesn't really grasp what performance capture is. I just don't. And that takes nothing away from Interstellar. Interstellar was amazing. And when I was watching that movie, I was blown away by the visual effects. I just think for the fact that they can make every single one of those actors become an ape. They were all apes. Like, you looked, my daughter saw like a thing. She didn't think it was fake. She goes, monkey. She's 3, so don't yell at her for saying it's a monkey. But you know what I mean? So it's just...
But I don't think anyone disputes that.
No, but that's why I just think because it was that, I just think that it just what they were able to make it so real. They were able to further that technology. That's why the visual effects should have beat out Interstellar just by that much.
I wonder how many of the Academy members actually watch like a behind the scenes on the making of Interstellar versus the making of Dawn, because I mean, I've watched both and it's like Interstellar is incredible. They built entire sets. They encompassed everyone so that they felt like they were on a real spaceship.
Yeah.
So those kinds of like actual real effects, which Nolan is known for, building out entire real worlds, not using green screen. Dawn is the exact opposite. But I mean, they didn't use as much green screen as you would think. They used real environments with motion capture actors. And I think, personally, I think if I had to vote on, special effects, it would have gone to Dawn. But it's a flip.
They were, to me, they were both, and I use this word sparingly, especially with the visual effects. To me, both of those films, Dawn and Interstellar, when it came to the visual effects, were flawless. They were both flawless.
Yeah.
And therefore, if Dawn of the Planet of the Apes had won, even though I picked Interstellar on my ballot, I would not have complained. With Interstellar winning, because I believe it was flawless in its execution, I can't complain. 2 great nominees, both deserving. I think Christian, you raised some great points about people haven't quite caught up yet to the art of the motion capture performances, but I think that's going to come. I made an argument that Circus should have gotten an Oscar nomination for the first Apes, but whatever, that didn't happen.
Yeah, but look, I mean, the Academy is also notorious for having makeup calls. And so when you see a name like Interstellar made by Christopher Nolan, they're probably going to lean towards that. If there's a tiebreaker, they're going to say, oh, remember when we screwed this guy for The Dark Knight? And for, yeah.
Well, remember, this Oscar doesn't go on his mantle, though.
No, it doesn't. But everybody knows that's a Christopher Nolan movie. It came out more around an Oscar-friendly time than Dawn of the Planet of the Apes did. So maybe they thought they were real apes in the movie. Maybe they thought...
Maybe they thought it was more artsy.
Those
I don't know.
apes were really well taught.
Says Bertha from the Academy.
Any other highlights from the show that we should, other categories? What other things are we missing? Oh, this was one that we saw a lot on Twitter, and there was a little bit of buzz in the room about too. The In Memoriam. There was no Joan Rivers on the In Memoriam. I didn't think there should have been because she's not predominantly a movie personality. I believe somebody pointed out that they thought she was honored at the Emmys. Was that true? Somebody in the room said they thought she was honored at the Emmys.
I'm pretty sure.
She was? Okay.
I think she was honored a couple times last year.
But she had done so much for the Oscars and the red carpet, and she was in Spaceballs. It counts as a movie.
I know, but if you're just going to put any actress who was ever in a movie ever,
but it's not just that though. It's her association with the
famous.
But it was her association with the Oscars.
Exactly. But is it her association with the Oscars or is it her association with E?
Yeah,
I mean, but
I think
he
look,
sent her to the Oscars.
I think.
But I mean, everybody has like a red carpet show. I mean, I had to agree with you on that one. I mean, I love Joan Rivers, and don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, okay, I can see why people would be upset about it. I just don't think she is like that prominent.
She was
in
an
the
entertainment
film.
icon.
Yeah, but in film.
And thus deserves to be honored. I just don't know that, sports is an entertainment form as well, but you don't honor her at the ESPYs. I think there was other mediums and other platforms to honor her.
I think
with.
Joan Rivers probably wouldn't want to be associated with this show anymore. So I think for this particular one, but yeah.
Now, some other people were pointing out on Twitter, it's like, what about
Paul Walker?
Paul Walker.
I think he was last year.
Yeah,
He was
and
in
they
last year.
covered him that. Then others thought
Hoffman too.
Philip Seymour Hoffman was a big one, but they actually, even though I think he died in early 2000,
He did, but they honored him at
but
last
they
year's
honored
Oscars.
him at last year's Oscars already.
He died in February, like literally 2 weeks
Right.
before the Oscars.
And Paul Walker died at the end of 2013.
Yeah, so they were actually already covered at the Oscars, so that was there.
My issue with the In Memoriam, though, is that the same thing last year where they do the In Memoriam and then they have the sad song playing and then someone else comes out and sings another song for another 5 minutes. Why can't that person just sing the song and have the pictures go over it? It just drags it on way too long.
Or who was saying about like footage, like the clips?
They used to do that.
They used
They
to show
do it.
footage of each person.
Well,
yeah.
and you want to cut stuff out. And I mean, I had tweeted out about this too. Is the fact that like I understand that the Academy wants to have their president come out and talk to the members and talk to the audience. They should do that during the commercial break because the people who are watching at home do not care what the president of the Academy is saying. And last year I think it was a different president, but goes on for 3 to 5 minutes. The people watching it, my mother-in-law is going, "Can we fast forward?" Like, they don't want to watch that stuff. So I just don't. You want to cut time. That's how you do it.
I think there are lots of ways. I don't mind the president of the Academy come out, although I do think she was out there too long. It is their show, and it's their one time a year to highlight their organization. So I get that, but I agree with you. It was too long. The one big problem with the Oscars, as much as it is my second favorite, day of the year, I love blah, 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 they have got to shorten this show up. You've got to shorten it up. And I'm sure we'll talk about this more in Movie Talk tomorrow, and we'll all come up with different ideas. But whether we've talked about cutting some categories and moving them to that other night that's not televised, but they're still Academy Awards, or whether it's get rid of the song performances, or other things. You've got to shorten this show up and keep focused on the things that are important. And I just felt like even in this year's show,
It's because it wasn't a fun show. Because 3.5 hours can move really quickly if it's like this.
And if you would have gotten
cohesive, but it wasn't.
Sorry, if you would have gotten rid of those songs, boom, no energy in the room
Exactly.
whatsoever.
Oh, yeah,
That's
well,
the only
that's
thing
true,
that
yeah.
gave you energy.
What about 5 times the songs? 15 songs all in a row. What about that next year,
They can
guys?
just turn the whole show into an entire monologue of songs.
Everyone sings the awards. And the winner is...
Yeah.
Just do it like Frozen. That's how easy that is writing-wise. I'm singing a song about all of the nominees. Here they go. Throw it over to somebody
Neil
else.
Patrick Harris
Give
kind of
him an
started the
Oscar.
show with that.
You
entertaining.
lose,
The
you
beginning part was-
lose, you just lost.
I can't believe he totally lost and he's crying in a corner. Boo.
That joke
there
sucks.
There was one moment in the show where I believe it was the cinematographer for Birdman won, right? But they didn't actually say Birdman when they announced the winner. They just said the name of the guy, and we thought they said...
What did he say?
Chivo, that's his
Chivo.
nickname. That's Lubeski's
Yeah, so we
nickname.
thought they were talking about for another movie, and then he's walking down the aisle to accept the award, and he stops and starts hugging all the people from Birdman. We thought, well, either he's from Birdman or he's being a real dick. Like it's one of the two. I'm not really sure which one. Oh, can I point this out too? How bad were all the commercials? Like every commercial is dead serious and depressing. Like, was it just me?
I'm
or-
not
they're
excited
terrible.
about ABC's slate upcoming. I'm not. It's like Pop. I don't need the. Okay, look, I am Iron Man.
And now he has no mic.
How about Sean Penn saying that about his green card?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Ellis
yeah,
got
there you go.
mad.
Ellis, go for
Ellis
it.
got mad.
I got worked up.
okay. I saw some people on Twitter get upset about the Sean Penn green card comment about Alejandro Inarritu. But what I don't think people remember is that these guys have been buddies for 20 years.
Yeah.
21 grams, right?
Yeah, and they go
Pulling his
that
leg. It was
far back
funny.
together. Yeah, that was a joke amongst two buddies and two very close friends.
I said it's
so-
like if Han, brought up Lando. That's kind of like what it was like.
Yeah, okay, I get it. But watching it as a viewer, I was like,
crying,
not
Ellis.
cool.
Extra sensitive.
very, very.
I would just like to say,
He's sweating, ladies and gentlemen.
really,
Oh man.
really.
I agree with you. No, seriously, it could be the ethnic in me, hence sitting with these whiteys over here. But like,
Who are you calling
when you
Whitey?
tell someone like, "Oh, girl, to get your green card," it's like everyone's watching you. Not everyone's friends with you for 21 years. Like you have to remember that like it's not just you and your friend in this room. It's a ton of people. It's kind of uncomfortable.
I have a green card and I didn't care.
Yeah, as a proud green card owner, I was also not offended. Well, actually, were you born here?
I actually was not born. No, I'm totally kidding. I was born here. I was born in LA.
You're more American than than a lot of us.
Campia just got his green card. Campia just got his green card. Green card.
And Ellis is still crying.
Why did he have to make fun of his green card?
Ellis is mad.
Because he doesn't have one. He's full of jealousy and he's angry.
Spicoli stole the stage at the Oscars.
We'd like to thank Whiskey for.
I don't think we can top that. We should probably end it.
There's probably a bunch of other things we should be talking about, but that's why we have AMC Movie Talk tomorrow. Thank you, all you guys, for joining us for this live, quick post-Oscar show. We know you have a lot of other things you could be doing. I sound like a Southwest stewardess right now. We know you have a lot of other airlines you could be flying.
Let's fly again.
But now that you're locked into this flying orb with us, with this metal disc, you cannot leave. The 3.5-hour AMC Oscars will continue.
Your captain of this flight, Neil Patrick Harris. Oh, God. Oh, God.
So make sure you join us tomorrow morning for AMC Movie Talk. We're going to, once we have a few more hours to actually dissect and digest a lot of the stuff that we saw at the Oscars, we'll have many more interesting. Who's on tomorrow? All musical. I think it's Christian, me, Schnepp, and Ashley. Are you hosting tomorrow? We will be singing all of our commentary tomorrow.
Yes, perfect.
All commentary singing. So thanks a lot for joining us, guys. So I want to thank Ashley for being here, Sinead, Dennis Zen, Mark Ellis, Amy Rose Eisenbach, John Schnepp, Christian Harloff, behind the scenes, Jonathan Voico, Ray Ora's over there, our good friend from IGN and former AMC, Roth Cornett, has been with us tonight. And who not only dominated the
big
AMC
winner.
box, she also made a lot of
took our
food.
money.
She took our money, made a lot of food. And our buddy Ryan is over there too. Thank you to all of you. We'll see you guys later. So for AMC Movie News, my name is John Campbell. Until next time, cheers.
Call me Butter Lamp. Butter Lamp. It was one of the short films, and I'm like, that's my new nickname. Butter Lamp.